David Locke and Richard Koch wrote an excellent business strategy book called Simplify. I'm a sucker for anything that promises to make my life or my business simple, so I thought I would read it. I noticed parallels between the author's suggestions throughout this book and what I learned at university years ago. Sameness will actually kill your business. Consider a product or service in any established industry. When you break it down into features, you may start to realize there is very little, if any, difference between competitors. Sure, they'll probably tell you they have low prices every day or they have better service, but often that's not the case. Do you really believe there is a significant difference between service from one petrol station to the next, for example? Major supermarkets? Big banks? Probably not. If you do love the customer service at one of these chains, chances are it's down to the hot, witty, kind, or sexy person who serves you, and you find some natural attraction or appealing trait, which could include kindness or them going above and beyond. When that person leaves, your service experience will return to the dull, black and white, ordinary variety you know so well. Coles and Woolworths were starting to look the same. Looking at the supermarkets in Australia, when you attend a supermarket, you're likely to have some expectations already. Traditionally, you would expect to have access to a trolley or basket, printed price tickets, products organised and sorted by aisle and category, service staff to scan items, accept payment, pack your bags, and in some cases carry groceries to your car, thanks to some of the local IGAs that still provide this service. Aldi had a new business strategy. Aldi entered the market with a business strategy to become a new type of discount retailer. Sure, items were organised, but many of the shelves were swapped out for pallets, so they didn't need to stack shelves. Bags were optional, and there was a self-serve option where you could pack your own bags or boxes. Shoppers had to rummage through their pockets for a gold coin to unlock the trolley, or they had to juggle as many items as they could with folded arms as they made their way to the checkout. What do you think happened here? Do you think Aussies decided they wanted less convenience? No, of course not. But everyday Australians had to decide which features of the shopping experience were most important to them and which they were willing to sacrifice to save money. Indeed, Aldi was quickly able to position themselves as an economical option in what was almost a duopoly between Coles and Woolworths. Aldi ended up capturing 11% of the market share quite quickly. Designing your product or service features. Early in the design of your product or service, it pays to give serious thought to some of the features common to your industry and which ones in particular your customers weigh in on to decide their available options. This is an obvious starting point for almost any business strategy. Add, eliminate, reduce, or increase. Following are just a few ideas on how to approach your product or service design. Start thinking about this early in your business if possible. Here are some ways you can look at the design of your product or service. List all of the features that are common for your core products or services or your industry that you would want to go into. Which features do consumers consider salient or most important when deciding which products or services to go with? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do your competitors sit on each of these features? And how does your business rate? Is there an opportunity for your business to stand out or be known as a clear leader for one of these important features? Can you identify any features which might be outdated, redundant, or unimportant for consumers to make a decision? Could you eliminate or reduce these features to save time or money without hurting sales? Can you see an opportunity to create or introduce new features? Would it help to bring back features which may once again be relevant in today's circumstances? Remember I mentioned the idea of carrying groceries to your car, which IGA still does. At some point, there may have been these extra services at the major supermarkets as well. Service stations similarly used to have someone that would come out and actually put some fuel in your car. Now most service stations are self-serve. Could modifying a product or service or their features lead to the creation of a completely new category or subcategory in your industry? Ask yourself these questions. You may already be giving some thought as to how this relates to your business and your business strategy. Don't forget about subtraction. It's not always about adding features. So, indeed, in the book Simplify, it addresses the question of whether great product design is about adding more features. I'd suggest subtracting features is more often what produces a winning design in the marketplace. Apple's original iPod Shuffle is one of the great examples they introduce in this book to illustrate their point. What is Blue Ocean strategy? Similarly, Blue Ocean strategy is executed with a deep exploration of product or service features. The authors introduce readers to a business strategy framework to help decide which features to create, which to eliminate, which to increase, and which to decrease. Now, I run the risk of oversimplifying these strategies here. However, my aim is not to provide a detailed explanation. My aim is to demonstrate that probing into features will give you a solid foundation to create a unique product or service. If you are the same as every other business, you will never stand out. Unless you can find something that makes your business unique and indeed better in the eyes of consumers, you will struggle. In the words of Seth Godin, find something that makes your business remarkable. Business strategy is not as complex as it seems. In a world of seemingly endless possibilities, it's tempting to want to add complexity to a product or service in the hopes it will attract new customers or clients. But more often than not, excellent design is about finding what non-essential features can be removed. What features are redundant or no longer serve the purpose for which they were originally intended in your industry? Could you reduce or remove these features for some payoff, like a reduced cost or added convenience? Start with a redesign of your product or service if you really want to stand out in your industry and be remarkable.